See, I don't understand. All right. Hi, everybody. Um, this video is a redo of my Women's History moment earlier today, and I had to delete the video because I deleted the wrong one. I'm using OBS Studio software for my videos, and for some reason now, I'm clearing my cache every day. I don't know what's going on, but when I click on recording, it there's like 6 seconds of delay, and so sometimes I would click it on stop recording, and then click recording again, and then it starts regularly. So I apologize for this. Maybe in the future I'll find some other software. If you know something about OBS Studio or another software for videos and everything, please put it in the comments below, and I would appreciate that. Also, please like and share. I appreciate that because the algorithm, it's starting my videos to go up and everything, and I appreciate that. Um, and I, if y'all like to put some comments on there, please like the video and everything, and I appreciate that. So I'm spotlighting Senator Tammy Duckworth, who's the junior senator from Illinois. She is the Woman of Year from the state of Illinois. And let me just go ahead and we'll educate some things for you about Tammy Duckworth. So here we go. For Tammy Duckworth, the personal and the political are intertwined. The junior U.S. Senator from Illinois has had a life marked by not only overcoming obstacles, but shaping a sharp vision from them. She willed her own life experiences to make history on the Senate floor, speaking up, often with firsthand experience, for the issues she cares about. In 2004, and I forgot to give you a picture of her. There you go. In 2004, Duckworth was deployed to Iraq as a Black Hawk helicopter pilot from the Illinois Army National Guard, where she stood among the first women in the Army to fly combat missions during the Operation Iraqi Freedom. On November 12, 2004, a rocket-propelled grenade shot down her helicopter, exploding in her lap. And I didn't know that either. She lost both of her legs and partial use of her right arm, but after a year of recovery, she became director of the Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs, where she helped create a tax credit for employers that hire veterans, developed programs to improve access to housing and health care, and established the nation's first 24-hour veteran crisis hotline. Duckworth later served as former President Barack Obama's Assistant Secretary of Veteran Affairs, addressing issues affecting women and Native American veterans. She was elected to the U.S. Senate in 2016, making her the first disabled woman to serve in the United States. Rising through the ranks of the military as a young woman, she put off having children until she was 50 to prioritize her career. After a series of in vitro fertilization treatments, she welcomed her first daughter, Abigail, in 2014, and another daughter, Mail Pearl, in 2018. Duckworth made history that year as the first senator to give birth while in office. She brought her 10-day-old newborn on the Senate floor during a vote, a decision that sparked a rule change which now allows parents to bring infants onto the Senate floor to fulfill both parenting and political duties. She remembers traveling between Illinois and Washington twice a week while breastfeeding. Finding appropriate places to pump breast milk proved difficult, so Duckworth pushed a 5-year campaign, the Friendly Airports for Mothers Improvement Act, that mandated lactation rooms in airports and hospitals starting in 2020. She also pushed to expand access to fertility treatment nationwide through her Right to IVF Act introduced in the Senate last year. For her accomplishments in reproductive rights, veteran issues, and disability advocacy, Duckworth has been named USA Today's Women in the Year honoree from Illinois. And now, in her own words, here is a short video of the interview with USA Today. This video is from USA Today's YouTube channel. Just waiting for it to pull up. Sorry, there we go. Let me expand it for you. Full screen.
For granted. This is about my life, but it's also really a love letter to America.
Why did you decide to write every day as a gift?
I often wanted to write about Walter Reed and all the great people there and tell their stories. And then I read Born a Crime by Trevor Noah, and it really inspired me because I learned so much about South Africa and apartheid and his life. He's biracial like me, and he talked about seeing both sides, and that really inspired me to okay, let's talk seriously about this.
Was it hard to do?
You know, it was hard to do because I had to open up a lot about a lot of things, and I had to deal with my feelings about my father, and it actually helped me develop my feelings and sort of come to peace with my dad. Even when I was, a young child, I don't know how old I was when my dad left. I think I must have been 4 or 5. I knew we were in economic and financial peril when my dad left. Because the first thing I did when my mom said, "Your dad's got to go back to America. We can't go with him," was to run. And if you're ever in an Asian house, go look under the sink. There's always a 40-pound bag of rice. That's the first thing I did as a 5 or 6-year-old, was run to the kitchen to make sure there was rice to eat. I instinctively knew that was peril. Early on in life, I was a daddy's girl because I was always tagging along, with my dad, doing everything that he wanted to do. And then as I got older, it was very antagonistic because I knew he wasn't proud of me. In my young mind, I thought he wasn't proud of me. He loves my brother better. I'm just the girl. I'm not good enough. It was always, trying to do better, be better, and I never got it. And then when he passed away, it was, what a jerk he was, and he was terrible, and he was terrible to the family, and he let us down, and he was terrible to my mom, and left her in debt and all of that. And then as I matured, I well, he's just a flawed guy. And then with the book, I learned more and more, and I'm at peace. He was just a guy. He was just a guy and dealing with his problems. And in doing the book, I realized that actually there was a foundation laid for this early on that I didn't realize I had. Just the tribulations of going through poverty in Hawaii and earlier on. And I never connected that maybe some of the skills I have now really started way back when. But then it also was really great because it put me in touch with all sorts of people from the day of my shoot down that I had never met or heard of. And in researching, I was able to find these folks and fill in the gaps that are missing in my memory of that day.
Now, this is an incident you didn't have a lot of personal memories of, right?
There's some things I remember clear. Everything to do with getting the aircraft on the ground, I remember, because it was the most important thing. I relived that. I don't remember the multiple times that I woke up. Once I passed out in the aircraft, I don't remember anything. Once the aircraft was on the ground and I knew that she was on the ground, it was almost like, and then I passed out. And I don't remember any of that. But we found multiple people over the years have actually contacted me and said, I want you to know what you did. It was hard to know what my buddies went through for me. I just hated that they had to go through that. And it was hard knowing that taking care of me affected so many of these people literally for decades, and I didn't know. Because these folks stepped forward and said, it's the most searing memory of my career. Um, and that's really hard for me. Going through it, see, for me, I thought I would die. So that was not hard because I'm like, I survived at the end of this, right? I received the gift of life in this. And so that wasn't hard for me. What really hurts and pains me is what my buddies went through, because and total strangers, what they went through to take care of me.
If you could be a U.S. senator or a helicopter pilot today, which would you choose?
Helicopter pilot.
Because
Because it's the privilege of wearing my nation's colors and leading those. It's the troops. It's the military men and women to wear her colors and lead those troops, and is there's nothing like it. Those men and women who serve are something extraordinary. They're ordinary and they're extraordinary at the same time. They're ordinary Americans who step forward, but they're extraordinary people.
it cost you a lot. It cost you both your legs. Any regrets?
No, I've gained more. If you told me right now, Tammy, snap my fingers, you go back to day one of flight school, go through all of that, go through everything. You get to live those first 12 years, but you will get shot down in Iraq. You will lose your legs. You will go through that. I'd be like, sign me up. You know, what I want people to take away from the book is that it's an appreciation for what every day is. Like, you get bogged down in fighting and the misery of every day. But for me, every day has been a gift. From the day that Dan Milberg carried me out of that aircraft and delivered me to safety, every single day has been a gift.
Okay. All right, so there you have it in her own words. And I will just add that I personally speaking think if Tammy is still in the Army, that Secretary Pete Hegseth, and I won't hold my breath for President Trump to do it, but Pete Hegseth should issue an apology to Senator Tammy Duckworth for what he said prior to his confirmation about women should not be in combat duty and everything. And were it not, she was an agent, and I'm going to give her credit, whether the credit is not due or not, that she also created the crisis hotline for veterans, became an assistant secretary of Veteran Affairs, director of Veteran Affairs in the state of Illinois, and then through Barack Obama's presidency. And Barack Obama is an example of a president who puts people in positions who are experienced in that position, not just because someone had kissed the ring. And so I call on Secretary Pete Hegseth to issue the apology and then have a sit down with Senator Tammy Duckworth about her service and what that brought to her wheelhouse to become a U.S. Senator, and why this part of DEI, which it is, should never have been removed. In fact, all DEI programs should never have been removed, even though they have. So Secretary Pete Hegseth, if you're listening or if someone sends you this video, apologize to Senator Tammy Duckworth and all women in the military, and have a sit down with Senator Tammy Duckworth about her service and what that brings to the table in the federal government. again, I apologize for the mix-up of the first video, but I appreciate any grace that you extend to me. And I will put some information about Tammy Duckworth in the comments of this video so that it can be shared for other people to learn as well. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening or your day when you are seeing this video. But this has been the Women's History Moment for March 12th, video number 12. Thank you. Have a good night.